Listen, you know by now I love buying singles on WhatNot, and we've got around about sort of 30 to be going into the Pokedex Binder. And this episode's mainly going to focus around upgrades. There's going to be a few new additions, but majority of them will be upgrades. Now, we're on the right page because the first one we're going to take a look at is the Iron Hands Secret Art Rare. So hopefully the sleeve doesn't sort of take away from the art too much, but look how much sort of detail and sort of 3D embossing of the card there is, and this is going to be an upgrade down here. Now you are currently up in the heavens, so that's our first upgrade to Iron Hands. The camera is so high up so I can fit the Pokedex actually in, because this binder is a whopper. Now occasionally you'll get a little bit of glare here, don't worry about it. Anyway, moving on, the next card is the Rayquaza VMAX. Now to be honest with you, I actually bought this initially for my Dynamax and Gigantamax selection of cards that I've got in a separate binder, but for now it's going to be a nice little upgrade. Now before I show you the next card, if you also want to get yourself some singles for your collection of Pokemon cards and you want £10 or $15 free, you can use the link in the description down below. You'll get credit immediately. All you have to pay is delivery of that first order. You get $15, £10 towards your first purchase. You can buy yourself a bunch of singles with that, and in return I'll equally get the same value, so you can help me upgrade the Pokedex binder with even more additions. So again, link will be in the description down below. Anyway, up next we've got Comfey, and this one is from Galarian Gallery. I've got to remember to put it really high up because again, you're in the heavens at the minute with this camera. So we're going to get a lovely upgrade. We're going to be swapping out the Lily's Comfey, and we'll put that to one side. I need to go ahead and put all of those cards in there collections in a minute, so that's another upgrade. Of course, I'll stop saying that from this point on. We've got the Wattrel illustration rare. Look how cool that artwork is, and we're going to be swapping out. It is a reverse holo here of the Wattrel, and that's at 940. That's another upgrade. So basically my goal towards the latter stages of the Pokedex binder is to have it so that the majority of the cards are like illustration rares or rare cards to some degree. So up next we've got the English Passimian. Love this card. This is from the trainer gallery as well. I love it with the trainers in there. So for this one, we're going to be swapping out, for example, an uncommon from Surgeon Sparks and pop it in the new one at 766. Up next is another card that again is going to go into my Gigantamax and Dynamax collection. That is the Grimmsnarl. Love the artwork on this one. We are going to be swapping out one that I actually really like. It's a rare from Stellar Crown. The artwork on this card is so sick. They've really done justice to that kind of dark theming of this card. So that's in at 861. Now we then move into the black and white era, and we have a art rare. And these are majority now art rares. There's going to be a few English in there towards the end, but we've got the Maractus art rare, and that is going to be upgrading this reverse holo that we've only recently put in from Black Bolt. So that one's going to come out. That's at 556. Some of these sleeves that these come in are a little bit too big, but we'll make it work. We then move back towards Kanto because we've got the Persian. Now in English, this one is from Shrouded Fable, but of course we've got the Japanese version, and that is a nice upgrade because that goes all the way from a common sort of regular card here, and that's going to go all the way up to a illustration rare or an art rare. In Japanese it's called an art rare, and of course again we want to get all of these at some point done. Staying in Kanto, we then have the Arbok art rare. Love this artwork as well. I love the kind of flat design, and this one's going to go in here, which is getting a lot of glare from the lighting, but we're going to swap out the one here from Destined Rivals. I love these artworks as well because they all tend to have like a little bit of red on them, like to give it that kind of dark, dangerous kind of vibes, but nothing beats an art rare or illustration rare. We're going to be sticking in Kanto again because we've got the Execute. That's going to go in. Again, this one is a common all the way up to an art rare. Pop that one out. Slide in the new one at 102. I've just seen recently a Executor art rare, illustration rare as well, so eventually we'll get that. Little note on this page, the Magneton, I love that, and the coughing and the wheezing. Up next is an artwork that I absolutely love, and that's the Skarmory. Either. What a beautiful illustration. I just forget that the text is there, and then they've got so much sort of empty negative space up here. It was quite a bold move, but it looks so good, and the chrome look as well as of the Pokemon itself, absolutely stunning. Let's get that what have we got here? Steven's Skarmory. That will come out. Skamiri. Pop that one in there. Next up, we've got the So-So artwork of Bronzor. Now these are both fantastic artists, and we're actually going to be swapping out a Shinji Kanda artwork as well. Now I have already got this in my artist binder, so sadly it's not going to be a new edition, but what an upgrade as well to this card. So-So has such a particular style, and I've started to really be able to recognize it quite easily when I'm like opening packs, for example. And while we're on this page, another one is the Magnezone. Really cool. I love the Pokemon themes of when they're working. It's really cool. Little Magnemite in the background as well. There's a couple of them actually, and a Magneton. See, sometimes I don't look at cards enough and I never recognize these additions in here. I've only just seen that they're in there, which actually makes this artwork even more pleasing to look at. Now, this was actually part of my series, which is yet to be posted, but of artworks that just did sort of need some love. They're just regular cards, but the artworks are really cool to look at. I mean, look at that. That is so cool, and that's just an uncommon. So I'll put that to one side, another upgrade. We're back into the black and white era, and we've got an art rare for Timburr going in. Again, another Pokemon at work. He's got his evolutions in the background as well. So we'll swap out a common for it. Again, really satisfying when we get to do an episode like this, because the artwork of the whole binder just really goes up a notch. Now, an artwork I've been talking about in other episodes is this Rotom artwork. This is absolutely awesome. It's going to be an upgrade to a common reverse holo. And most of the time when I feel like I'm getting to the point where I think that this will be the final card for that particular Pokemon, I'll most of the time just slide in the paper insert in behind. Because a lot of people, I know that these paper inserts actually, they look a bit untidy. So if I see something like that, most of the time I'll pop it in there, and then that's the cleanest way that I can present that card going forward. So again, when we get to our kind of final versions of them, they'll look a lot nicer and tidier. While I flick through the pages, usually these sort of episodes I need, because I've actually forgotten so many times of like which cards that I've actually bought. And so when I go to card shows, I don't want to buy dupes of anything. So I have to use this as a bit of a kind of reminder to myself, and then hopefully avoid spending money unnecessarily. Anyway, we're back at Toedscool. I love this one, and Toedscool and Toedscool, because we've actually got both of them now. Two completely different styles of artworks though. This one being really sort of cartoony, really fast and dynamic and colourful, and then this one's got that really dark sort of vibe to it. There's loads more of them just hidden in the sort of the woodland in the background area, and again, the artworks are very different to each other, but they're going to be upgrades to reverse holo. So Toedscool, which by the way, I actually love the artwork for this one as well. I'm going to see if this artist has done any more, because I really like the kind of bold, simplistic kind of approach to the artwork. If they've got any more for the rest of the Pokedex. I'm slowly getting to the point with this collection, these collections should I say, and that one probably needs the paper in there, where as I'm going, I'm starting to see different cards that maybe didn't take my interest initially, but as we're going through the episodes and we're finding more and more cards, more artworks, starting to have a little bit of a fancy for individual pieces. So yeah, build up even more of an artist collection. We then move over a page, because the next card is one of my favorites from today's episode. It's the Flutter main. I love this card because it's not really front and center too much. It's a little bit out of the way. I could argue that up here it seems like there's fire coming from like a dragon or something potentially. Is it a Giratina maybe, perhaps, making its way through the sky, and Fluttermane's running away? Whatever it is, this dark environment looks so cool. I love this card. And that one, again, this one's going to be an upgrade though to a reverse holo rare card. It's one of those ancient ones where they've got a little bit of color just running along that kind of side edge. And again, this one probably is going to be perhaps one of the final cards maybe for Fluttermane. We'll have to see. Next up, we move towards the front of the binder again. We've got the Wailord illustration. This is absolutely fantastic. Look at all the colors in there. It's a really cool approach to do that, and also just put the sort of above water part of the image in such a sort of narrow height-wise space at the very top of the card illustration. It's awesome. Again, we're going to be swapping out a rare holo of Wailords. Look how much more simple and kind of boring that is in comparison. Love these kind of upgrades. Just the binder just looks so good. Tell you what, we'll put the paper in this one as well. Who knows? I can guarantee that's going to annoy a few people in terms of Oh, but the paper's up against the back of the card. It's okay. I mean, it's an art rare that was worth about £3. It's fine. Now, staying on this page, we actually then get the Electrike as well. Look at this illustration, nice and simple. Not a lot going on, but it's still just nice to have that full art version. If anything, you could argue like the artistic style of perhaps this one here, where it's a little bit faster, a little bit more dynamic, is arguably a little bit more intriguing. But either way, we'll pop this one in here. Again, if you want to get £10 or $15, use the link in the description down below. You only have to pay postage on your first order. You get £10 free credit just for the cards themselves. And likewise, when you make your first purchase with that credit, I will equally get the same amount of credit. So you can help me upgrade the binder a little bit further. Now we're heading back into black and white again, because Samurott has had a bit of an interesting journey. We had the Hisuian version in here, which we then kind of sideways / maybe downgraded to the regular form, because the regular forms should only be in the Pokédex binder. And then when black and white came out and every card's got an illustration rare, I then decided to grab the Samurott actual art rare. Look at that, with all the Wingles in the background. So we now can do justice to Samurott again. So we've got the Pignite above it, which looks really nice. And again, if you don't already know, all of the cards in the black and white, and so that's Black Bolt, White Flare, all have an illustration rare. So, or illustration rare or secret illustration rare. So you can upgrade this entire section to the latest sort of designs, which looks really cool. Now this page over here already has we've got quite a few kind of illustration rares and art rares over here. We're going to be adding in another one. The next one up is Tropius. I love this artwork, and we're going to be upgrading a common to an art rare. Said it again, but it's okay. So this was the first page, by the way, that we actually managed to fill out in the Pokédex, and that was with the Sphere. And Sphere also has a really cool illustration rare as well. So again, we'll get there eventually. And up next, we've got the Quaxwell art rare. Really cool. This one has like a kind of staging, where this one, of course, is the middle. You've then got the first stage, the second stage, and third stage. And you can see either side now of how the progression of how the Pokemon kind of evolves in age-wise. And so we'll eventually get to those ones as well. This one is a uncommon coming out. Pop that one in there next to the EX. Now, I don't really mind if they're EXs or art rares or illustration rares or anything higher than that. I think the EXs still have a place, especially some of the artworks of more recent cards, and especially the mega sets as well that are sort of on the horizon coming out September time. Next up, we've got the Cramorant. I love the shallow depth of focus on this card, and how like it is just in the middle of, could be anywhere. It could be like the middle of a town, busy town, all the people are slightly blurred, and it just looks really cool that it's the only thing in focus. Again, we've got a reverse holo, common coming out. Pop that to one side. Again, I think this one probably could do with the paper insert going in the back there. People ask me, why do you keep the paper insert still if the Pokemon's already been done? Because eventually, if I want to move this all to a bigger binder, perhaps the one from Volt X, for example, I want to make sure I've got at least the numbers. I can make sure everything is organized still. And also, it took me so long to put these in, I just kind of want to leave them as they are. Up next, we've got one of the more captivating cards that I've seen recently, and that is the Furret. What a card this is. By illustration by Rend there in the bottom left-hand corner. Just look how 3D and real that looks. Just looks amazing to kind of see them in that kind of style, when in comparison, this card here that we're going to be swapping out, I mean, it's obviously just a more of a cartoony approach to it, probably more old school, but this one here is just absolutely awesome to see it in that kind of real world environment. And that's almost a full row of illustrations as well. We'd have to get one for Centric as well. Now, while again I'm flicking through, people also ask me a lot of the time, why have you got them in Japanese rather than the English version? A lot of the time, majority of the time, you can find the cards cheaper in their Japanese versions. The artworks are exactly the same. Sometimes the quality is even better in the Japanese versions. Another one, of course, here that we're going to be adding in is also by Rend as well, and that is the Vivillon, either. That's going to be upgrading a uncommon. So yeah, sometimes you can get the Japanese ones a little bit cheaper. They tend to, again, potentially have higher quality of card, especially when you get something like a secret illustration rare as well, where there's 3D depth and detail to the card. They can look a lot nicer in the Japanese ones. But if you're just interested in artwork, that's all I recommend you do. Just get the Japanese versions. I think they look sick. But You know, it's down to people's preferences. You'll have your own preference, but you will spend a little bit more money majority of the time if you're going to get the English version. Let's get a Cufant reverse holo out. We're taking out this one here. Let me know in the comments down below, are you a fan of the kind of holo pattern like this? I don't think I am in comparison to some of the other ones in previous generations, but either way, we're going to be adding in this absolutely awesome art rare of Cufant. A couple of them playing around, rainbow in the background. The card's got so much shine to it. That one's going to go in at 878. Next up, we've got the Wimpod. Loads of them just running around this kind of wooden barn, potentially. Love the artwork on that one as well. This one is a common coming out. So that's in at 767. Now, if you enjoy these types of videos and my progression of the Pokedex Binder series, please make sure to subscribe. We're obviously adding cards every single week, sometimes twice a week, so you can enjoy some extra videos, but you can follow along with the progression of this particular binder. It gives me a nice purpose to opening packs as well and buying cards at card shows or whatnot, like today's episode. Now, next up is our first edition, and that is going to be the Flapple. I love this one. When this Pokemon first came out, I did think it was a bit kind of cheesy, a bit kind of lame, but the actual dragon style of it, I think, is really sweet. So that's going to go in as a new addition to Flapple at 841, and that's not the end of that, because we need to find Dipplin, which bizarrely is all the way on the last page. No idea why. We're going to be adding in this kind of market style art rare. The artwork itself, really nice and flat. Look how happy it is. Nice little bold outline to it as well. And we're going to be swapping out a uncommon reverse holo. And the artwork on this one's still pretty cool as well. It's just hiding in the apple almost. So that one is going to go in at 1011. Next up then, 3 cards to go. We've got the Dolive art rare. That one's going to be an upgrade to a reverse holo. This artwork as well was really cool as well. It's got that kind of underglow lighting as well as a top lighting as well. It looks really sweet. Again, get that one in at 929. This one's got a slightly bigger sleeve. There we go. Now, sticking towards the back, we've actually got a new addition. Now, the next 2 cards were gifted to me by a friend, Nathan, so shout out to Nath. This is a Shinji Kanda artwork, which is also something I'm collecting, but Slitherwing, this is also a reverse holo, doesn't have a card yet in my Pokedex binder. So at 988, that one's going to go in temporarily until we, of course, upgrade it. And then we're going to swing all the way to the first page. Ignore the sort of guffs and buffs over here. The next card up is the Blastoise EX from 151, again gifted to me by Nath. So we're going to be adding that in as a new addition at entry number 9, and that is nicely then filling out the front page. Of course, you'll be able to see recently I decided to rearrange the order. I hated the order because it was every evolution is 3 and it's a 4 across. It just looked really messy. So we've got the evolutions going down vertically into here up. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. The latest Pokedex entry amount here is on the left hand side. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe for more of the Pokedex Binder series, and I'll see you in the next one.